Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This Thanksgiving, think outside the oven and get Thanks Grilling with Ace. Get a new grill and choose from top brands like Traeger, Weber, and Big Green Egg to add even more flavor to your Thanksgiving turkey, side dishes, and desserts. Plus, right now, get free assembly and delivery on all grills and accessories $3.99 and up. For the best help on the best grills, stop by your local Ace and get Thanks Grilling. Ace Rewards members only through December 24th. See participating stores for scheduling or exclusions.
This is an OBS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 1814. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I like to spend some time daily talking with you about some element of job search because I believe it doesn't have to be that hard, difficult, painful, or just take as long as it does for most of you. The skills needed to find a job are different than those needed to do a job. And the result winds up being most of you, because you're amateurs at job hunting, don't do a good job and you mess yourselves up. So I'll just simply say, folks, a coach will help. This show sure helps a lot of people. This show has been downloaded 600,000 times in the last 11 months, something along those lines. If I'm slightly off, I apologize, but we've helped a lot of folks during this period of time, and I can see my subscriber numbers are up since the great pandemic started. So listen to the show, share it with other people because folks need help, and this would be a great show to forward. Share it on LinkedIn, by the way. It's not difficult to do. Hope you find it helpful. Hope you give it a great review wherever you listen to the show. And please give it a great review. Let's get going, okay? Someone wrote to me asking the question, should I follow up with the recruiter or the hiring manager? Now, I think there's a depends in there, but most of the time, I'm going to tell you to follow up with the agency recruiter that represented you to the hiring manager, rather than let me just finish. The agency recruiter has a relationship with the hiring manager. You don't. And even if you say to me, I want to send a thank you note as a follow-up, that's good. But my experience when I did search is that there were so many thank you letters that were badly written, spelling errors, grammatical issues, that I want to look at it first before they sent it to the hiring manager. So as a matter of course, work through the recruiter. And you can contact the recruiter and say, hey, look, I want to send a thank you note to the hiring manager. And they'll probably perk up a little bit because they'll think that's a good idea. Can I send it to you first for a quick review before sending it to them? They'll say sure. They'll look at it. If they're good, they'll pick apart some of the things that you've done that are incorrect, like a nice generic thank you letter. I just want to thank you for the time that you spent with me today. I believe I'd be a valuable asset for your organization. That's not a good enough thank you letter. I would want you to hit points that reiterate points that you made during the interview that demonstrated your fit for the role, not just something generic. And again, send it to the recruiter first for proofreading and grammatical checks in order to ensure that it presents you in the best possible light. HR person of organization. Now, again, I'm going to differentiate between, agency recruiter, which is how I answered the first part of this, and corporate recruiter. I think in general, you're better off messaging the corporate recruiter rather than the hiring manager. And some people are going to say, what? Are you crazy? Let me just give you the scenario here. The hiring manager really doesn't care yet. I'm going to assume that this is after the first interview. And as such, doing a quick message to the HR recruiter to say, I haven't heard anything for a few days now after my interview. Have you received any feedback? Is useful. They may say, no, I haven't. Let me get in touch with them and then follow up with you. It's better than having your message left in the voicemail for the hiring manager who starts to feel a certain amount of pressure from you, which you may think you want, but it's better coming from the corporate recruiter. So again, work through the recruiter. Now, if you don't hear anything for a few days yet, the probability is they're not interested or they're not ready to commit to going forward. I would again, at this point, contact the hiring manager and simply say, just want to follow up after our interview. You gave me the idea that you may be making decisions about who to bring back for another round. Want to continue to express my interest in the role and circle back to you. Now, I want to remind you, my initial suggestion about following up with the agency recruiter was predicated on you sending a thank you note to the hiring manager. So in doing this, you can always reference the fact that you are expressing continued interest and want to see what the status of the role was, whether you were still under consideration or whether you should consider moving on. Again, the first answer I gave was having your thank you note sent to the agency recruiter to then send to the hiring manager. The second suggestion was following up with the corporate recruiter to see if they've heard anything yet and just hadn't gotten to you, because the hiring manager isn't going to make that communication of non-interest. The HR person will. And from there, that will probably jolt them into taking action. And you'll probably hear back within a day or so. I'm sorry, they're still interviewing. We should have a decision in the next however long it is. That'll be the typical type of answer that you'll get. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few more ways to get information and advice from me. First of all, there's my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. I have more than 8,000 blog posts there that you can watch, listen to, or read that will help you find your next job. In addition, if you're interested in my coaching you, at the site there's a button there that says schedule. Schedule time for a free discovery call, schedule yourself in for coaching, interview preparation coaching, salary negotiation advice, coaching related to hiring more effectively, managing and leading, helping you to be a better executive in your organization, and overall being a better employee of your firm. If you have questions for me, you can ask them at Wizio.com/thebiggamehunter. That's WISIO.com/thebiggamehunter. The price at Wizio is less than 1/3 of what I'm charging on my website. And I'm doing this because I want to benefit my subscribers here and on YouTube, and only you're going to know about it. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. Mention that you watched or listened to my content. I like knowing I'm helping folks. Once we're connected, it's nice to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you from time to time about how I'm helping. You can also watch me on TV. Did you know that? If you have a Fire TV or a Fire Stick, download the JobSearch TV app for Apple TV, Roku, Sony, Samsung, like 90 different TV platforms. You can watch me on either Zingo TV or BingeNetworks.tv. On YouTube, subscribe at JobSearch.TV.com and have access to thousands of videos I've created. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Be great!
Total Wine & More is a wonderland to explore. Thousands of wines and spirits, unexpected pairings, and great gifts. Low prices and helpful guides make the holidays magical at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
When you're ready to ride Metro, we want you to know we're ready for you. Here are just a few of the people at Metro to tell you how we're doing our part to keep riders safe.
We're cleaning like never before with hospital-grade cleaning.
You'll find hand sanitizer stations all over the Metro.
No mask,
No Metro. Need one? We have a few extras.
At Metro, we're doing our part to keep the DC area moving. Find out more at WMATA.com/doingourpart.